guys, welcome to another week of WoW Weekly with Myst. I hope everyone's having fun in WoW and whatever version you're playing, because there is hype in, well, there isn't really any hype in retail, nothing's really going on, but there is hype in the MoP remix still, and then there's also some people hyped for the Kata release. So yeah, hope you're having fun in whichever version you're playing. So for this week's events, we have the Glowcap Festival that is happening today and only today. We will also have PvP Brawl, of course, which will be Comp Stomp this week. The World Quest event will be running. Dark Moon Fair starts up on Sunday, and then of course MoP Remix is still going on till August. So last week I had kind of skipped a lot of major like retail War Within stuff because we had so much going on for MoP Remix that I wanted to cover. And since it's a little more of a mellow week this week, we are gonna be popping in like 2 weeks worth of retail / War Within news. That way I haven't really missed anything with you guys. And then also there is some MoP Remix stuff still to go over. So starting with some basic news, the Murloc Outfit, you may have seen that on the store. It's been there for a couple of weeks now. Like I said, we're gonna backtrack a bit to the week that I didn't, share this stuff. So you can get the Murloc set on the store for $20 US. So that involves a hood, pullover, sweatpants, slippers, mittens, and a backpack. That's the only thing I really got for basic news. So on to MoP Remix news. Okay, so for Remix news, a lot of nerfs again this week. Pretty much that's all we report on when it comes to Remix. Because clearly Blizzard doesn't test their own products before they put them live. So the goat farm, which I had mentioned a bit on in last week's video, that has been nerfed. The gate farm has been nerfed. There's been some nerfs to mobs in the Mogshan Vaults and Heart of Fear. Oridon Sanctuary got nerfed. High Priests are no longer dropping lesser charms. You might remember I was talking about the frog farm in last week's video because I just so happened to like level to 70 the night before they got rid of that. And so now they have done something which they executed totally wrong, and I will explain why. But if you weren't deemed a frog farmer, then you would get 40,000 bronze by the time you hit 70. You can get in one shot at 70 or a bit here and there through like 3 different level gaps. But it all equals 40k by the time you hit 70. This can be obtained per character, which I'm just gonna say that is extreme. Like, so because of these frog farmers, every single character that's made on Remix just gets a free 40k bronze. Like, I don't know. I feel like once would have been fine, Like, yeah, just seems a little ridiculous. But nonetheless, whatever, free bronze. If you get it. Because while it is for people who didn't farm the frogs, I know of a ton of people that didn't farm the frogs and they still didn't get this. I myself, I sit somewhere in the middle of all this. I totally got fucking screwed over by this because they say that if you farmed for less than 2 hours, you're not deemed a frog farmer, and I did like max 2 hours. I think it was like maybe an hour. I didn't even realize it was like as much of an exploit because, well, to me it still isn't, because that's how you regularly farmed the frogs and still do in retail. But But because of the hyperspawn, they consider it an exploit, which could make basically any expansion launch a fucking exploit, right? Because, like, how do hyperspawns happen? Hype of an event, so things, you know, more people are out there, spawns are happening faster. Like, literally, that's how it happens. You know? So, yeah. But, for me, how it worked is, clearly, I could see that I wasn't deemed a frog farmer because my stats didn't get reset. All the frog farmers, their stats look like this. I'll show you on screen. It went down to like 2,500 of each stat, 25k stamina. Now, I've done a few things, but I betcha I am still under that. Let's bring up my cloak. Yeah, you can see the only thing that I have like more than 2,500 of is haste, and I earned that, you know? Like, yeah, clearly you can see they don't deem me a frog farmer, or else I'd have higher stats. My intellect would be at like 2,500, you know, like, yeah, I would have much more sitting on me. So they didn't deem me as a frog farmer by resetting my stats, but they in a sense almost see me as one because I didn't, you know, I don't have the quest available. So basically the quest is available anywhere. You can use your Noswin voucher. Here, I'll leave this area for now to show you. So you can use that to get to a place nice and quick, and it's gonna be your blacksmith that has it. So that's this guy here. He'll have a quest. Clearly you can see I don't have a quest. Yeah, so there, you know, you might be like me, where you get royally screwed by them because you're sitting somewhere in the middle of being a frog farmer and not a frog farmer. So you're not getting the perks of either end of things, right? So like, you know, it's a good thing bronze is fucking super easy because I'm not getting any perks over here. So, so yeah, but anyway, point is, you know, go to your blacksmith here. I would do it whether you farmed frogs or not, just to see, because clearly this was all a randomized thing. Some people get it, some people don't. I know a lot of frog farmers that had like serious stats that actually have this quest on every single one of their characters. So yeah, clearly they, you know, rumor is they made their decision off of how many tokens you were spending. And I hadn't really spent any yet at that point. So like, I don't know. I don't know where they got that from. That's why I think it's more randomized. Yeah. So I just find it kind of funny how I don't have a place as either, you know? It's almost like I'm lost in the void or something because I'm just not affected whatsoever. Yeah. Which is kind of a bummer. At this point, I would have loved to just be deemed a frog farmer, you know? Just give me a little higher stats. Yeah, because both sides, frog farmer and non-frog farmer, are actually doing better than me right now. So yeah. Anywho, just thought I'd put that out. You know, definitely go and check if you have the pink little triangle over the blacksmith's head, and yeah, get your free bronze. Also, one last thing I'll mention is that prismatic gems are tradable. So if you know, get your hands on some prismatic gems, you can trade them with your friends or your alts. I was actually a little surprised in this one because you create these gems. So yeah, I was a little surprised to see that you could actually, you know, it would make sense alts, but to give them to your friends, that was a nice little surprise, because it's not like you loot them that way. You create those prismatic gems. Okay, so I've got a little bit of War Within stuff for you guys. So right here is the Glory of the Nerebar Raider mount. This is the Shadowed Swarmite. Also, we found out recently that the Creation Catalyst will convert weapons in the new expansion. There is going to be a new fishing tournament that will be happening in the War Within. It's called the Merildar Fishing Derby. So this is super cool. I was super excited to hear about this one because the last fishing tournament, we've only really had one fishing tournament, and that's the Stranglethorn fishing. So yeah, I've you know, and that's from back in vanilla. We've had that from the very beginning. Definitely time. And before anyone says anything, you know, like, yes, there's been little fishing things you can do here and there, like the Kaluak area and shit like that, but those aren't like tournaments, right? The only real tournament we've ever had is the Stranglethorn. So very nice. So basically the Meridol Fishing Derby will occur on Saturdays, which is perfect because the Stranglethorn one is on Sundays, so that's good. And you can earn derby commendations and prizes. They also there's also this big meta achievement where you catch all these fish throughout the derby in the time limit. And then there's a mount attached to this as well. So doing all that does get you a mount, and this is the mount here. So it's Ka, Legend of the Deep. So there will also be some cosmetics as well. So this is the Dasher's Trophy Fish. And then there's some consumables that help you catch certain types of fish. For Warlocks, you will be able to summon Antorus bosses as a Demonology Warlock. There's also some new Earthen and Cobalt-themed backpacks. And there's some more cosmetics for Arathi and Earthen. So here is the Darkened Arathi set, the Airship set, and then the Earthen Adventurer set. One kind of interesting add-in for the new expansion is that you will be able to hide pants. I'm surprised they allowed this feature because, you know, considering they, you know, considering the huge lawsuit they had with sexual harassment and all that, yeah, I guess they have been being careful since then. But yeah, I'm glad, you know, the more options, the better. I don't think I'd ever use it. It would be good if you wanted to like run around in shorts and stuff, but the reality is you can't customize your underwear on your character. So you're always gonna only have whatever that color is. Yeah, which I believe is brown. I think all the clothes under your transmog is like brown. But you know, it's there. I personally like pants, and yeah, I'm not really a, you know, show off the underwear or shorts type girl. Although I will say this skirt that I'm wearing in the video right now, I've really liked that. I've been putting together all these transmogs that involve that skirt. This is one of my newest transmogs that I've put together. If I turn, you can see the cloak. So it's, you know, basically blue and black, you know, minus, you know, I guess there's a red belt. But yeah, this is kind of like my getup that I recently put together. And yeah, so I don't see a time where I would ever use the hide pants, but you know, if you want to run around almost naked, then you can do that. I will admit, when I first heard that they put this function in, I did instantly think they were allowing you to be naked, because I'm like, well, you can just take your pants off, right? Like, you can still kind of do this, but then, you know, I guess it's a nice feature to, you know, be wearing your gear and raiding in your shorts, I guess, right? But personally, what I would love is if they would actually put in some transmogs for shorts, because if people want to actually hide their pants, then why not give them customizations for the look they are going after, which is running around in their underwear, you know? Like, you know, yeah. So I do definitely like it better on a guy, because it looks like shorts, because guys kind of wear like boxers, right? Boxers or briefs. With a girl, it just looks like you're running around in a bikini or something, you know? It's just, yeah, I like the short look a little better. But now I will say, as far as hiding the pants, there is one situation where I think it looks fucking amazing, and this is probably why they chose it, and this is the character I would hide the pants on, and that's this guy right here. That is him when his pants are hidden, and he suits it. Like, yeah, I would love, actually, I wouldn't even want to transmog this guy at all. I would just leave him like that. Just have him running around naked all the time, because he suits it more than he would suit clothes. You know what I mean? Just the way he is designed, you know, with all the crystals coming out, and yeah. So while I can't say I was too like hyped for it in the beginning, once I saw that picture, I was like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. So we have the Remembered Golden Griffin and the Remembered Wind Rider. Clearly, Griffin is Alliance, Wind Rider is Horde. It's showing that it will be bought with a certain currency that ironically looks like Azerite. Not to scare you guys or anything, but it looks like Azerite, and it's bought in Dalaran. Worth noting that this is going to be from the pre-patch event, which we should be getting like a bunch more news shortly on, because I suspect the pre-patch event is going to show up. Honestly, I'd be surprised if they didn't do it during a MOP Remix. I don't think they have the time to wait for MOP Remix to end and then do the pre-patch. I guess it all depends on when they really want to release the next expansion, but, you know, if they waited till MOP Remix ended, then we 100% aren't getting the expansion for, like, till end September, which is possible. I think based off of events, I had predicted that, but I based it off of that because of MOP Remix. I think the reality is by the time June hits, people will be pretty much done with MOP Remix. The only people that'll still be in there would be people leveling alts, right? Most people will have all their mounts collected, their pets, their toys, their transmogs, you know, most of the achievements, if not all. Yeah, by June, I suspect MOP Remix is going to be a lot more dead than it is right now, which would be a great time to kind of like throw in a retail event. But, you know, we don't have a date, so it could just, they could wait till the end of MOP Remix, but I don't think they should. And then the last piece of news I have for you guys is a new toy. It is called the Cave Spelunker's Torch. So it looks like it lets you hold the torch. It's got a very small cooldown. It's only 1 second. So yeah, you can pretty much consistently hold on to this torch. So the difference here is the other torches that are in the game, they kind of take the form of your weapon transmog, which makes it so that you're not properly holding the torch, right? And yeah, so this toy allows you to actually hold the torch properly as intended. Okay, so as far as my progression and all that, not much occurred. I'll be completely honest. I was busy doing a lot of videos, and then I hopped back into a game that I'm gonna tell you a little bit about in a sec because of its time-limited event. So, so yeah, I didn't really accomplish what my goal was last week, but I got damn close. So the goal was the dungeons and scenarios. I don't want to hop in right now just to complete it for this video. So, but I'll show you where we're sitting at. Okay, so quest-wise, I only have Kunle left. I'm pretty close. Landfall was actually a lot longer than I thought it was. Like, I guess I forgot how big of a campaign Landfall was. But yeah, so got that done. So all the quests are done except for Kunle, which is half done. So I should for sure, actually, no, I'm not making any remix goals this week because of, you know, something I'll talk about in a sec. But yeah, so, that'll get done when it gets done. Reputation, I'm just down to my last 2, so we're good there. Exploration. And then my other goal was scenarios and dungeons, so that we could get our 2 rings and, you know, at that point, I'll probably start upgrading some gear. I got close. We're recording the WoW Weekly before I'm hopping in to do today's set, but I'm 1 scenario. This would be done, except I kept queuing random and it would never give me high Cs, so yeah, I may have to force spawn that scenario. But you know, it's close nonetheless. The next time I do an accomplishment that involves remix, that should be it. And then we have the heroics, which is just 2 of them left. So very close. So that was basically my goals. And yeah, so I would say we accomplished some, because I had Landfall not even started when I made the quest goal. So yeah, I put a decent dent in, and honestly, it would have been done if I hadn't realized my other game had literally 2 weeks left in an event. So on the topic of that, I'm gonna be taking a little remix break this week to finish my Disney Dreamlight Star Path. So yeah, that's a game that people have seen on the channel quite often, I'd say. I throw it in the mix when the time-limited event shows up, usually. So you usually see me play it, like, every Star Path. Aside from that, I just do videos on it. And I'm halfway through the Star Path, so it might not even take me all week to finish it, but it really depends on what I get done and all that. But I don't want to miss out on it. I've never missed a single Star Path in that game, so I like I like staying on track with it. So I'm just gonna swap to that this week and finish that, and then next week I will return back to Remix. Remix is 3 months. I got 2 weeks with this one, so it's, it's really a no-brainer on what to play this week, right? So yeah, but I probably will still have some remix videos for you. And that's the video, so I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.